This week on Hermitcraft. Welcome to the Hermitcraft recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is LoyXP. Captions on this video were provided by Liara, and hopefully by this time you've been able to tune in to the epic Hermitcraft charity stream this weekend, or if we get this video out on time it might still be going on, so load up your browser and go support Gamers Outreach. For real, as soon as I'm done recording this, I'm going straight back to watching that live stream. So while most of the hermits have no clipped into real life to hang out with each other, we're here to tell you about people playing Minecraft on the internet. So let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Zedaf, who, having dug deep into the mechanics last week to bring us the chicken villager, discovers an even more obscure quirk within the Minecraft wiki. It turns out zombie villagers are 5 times as likely to spawn in the old-growth pine taiga biome.
I've already built this thing here. I'm not just going to come and move my farm now, am I? Am I?
Zed happily relocates the spawning platform to the new place and soon flies home with 2 more chicken jockey villagers, one for each dinnerbone combination except the normal one, which would be not this in the first place, by the way. His own trader nose came in just in time for the opening of his permit shops, bar the yellow and pink wool, which he actually is joining Azuma Void for since he already has the sheep farm set up on the nether roof. The 2 of them are the first of the wool barons to form an alliance and are already planning to swindle the remaining license holders.
Of course.
Rough them up, okay, let's rough them up, Sam. We'll be the wool mafia.
Yeah, we'll be the wolves.
The wolves of Wall Street.
Oh, the Wall Street.
This goes miles better than the other Nether Alliance Azuma tries out this week, but we'll save that for later.
Oh, Green's here.
Ah! Hello!
His more savvy side comes in when Azuma experiments with automatically crafting redstone components and eventually makes his way to building a whole moss farm. As with many hermits this season, this leads to a self-sustaining bone meal silo, which is something very fun to say to the tune of the 87 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme. In the meantime, the works pile up quick at his prize corner as more hermits blast through the numbers of goods sold and diamonds earned. Zombie Cleo, for one, scores over 1,000 diamonds for selling drinks with complimentary enchanted books. Even with non-paying customers, false symmetry is dragged in, populating the chairs.
But I do like that they are having a drink. She may have already seen it already, but I haven't mentioned anything. I'm kind of leaving it as a bit of a surprise.
It's funny because their wheat farm in the meantime hasn't even started producing anything. Turns out the villagers took offense to that.
Was that spruce fence stopping the wheat coming through?
Cleo, there's so much wheat in here. Cleo, this hopper is full.
Okay, it's nothing to do with the villagers. It's just me. It's just me and my redstone knowledge.
Their town grows stronger with a cliffside mage tower, and Cleo really is a wizard, easily forming the armor stands to complete Tango Tech's vision of bubbling redstone, which we bring up here just to say that Tango now has that redstone drip. Amidst pranking the competition, False built up her own gradient empire and moves her concrete into the hill under a giant, partially transparent jellyfish. It is pretty interesting seeing a hermit bring back a build from all the way back in Season 4 and put a new spin on their own old idea which surely they executed on a larger scale before. Anyway, Grian builds the back rooms under the permit office.
I'm not feeling like this is a happy waiting room.
This one is actually significantly more unsettling than his last because the only monster in the waiting rooms you know clip to is the ever-distorting Jono hold music.
I figured if they didn't like it that much, they might just up and leave because it's that unsettling.
Smallish Beans gets a taste of the experience, but his suffering is vindicated when Grian then admits to have forgotten the command to transform an item into a permit form in the first place.
Well, am I supposed to know the command, Green? You're the one...
I don't know how to do it!
Oh, what do you mean you didn't have to do it? You're the one who made all the bloody permits!
I did it ages ago!
Yeah!
Also, BOO turns out to be the only person authorized to notarize forms, but that's not something we'll be holding against him. We don't know how this ordeal is connected to Joel's fever dream of a world where your only dating options are 3 Joels who are all not single, but someone on the server clearly has an idea of who his one true love is. 2 brickheads-looking statues of Ethos spawn at the foot of Joel's Asian town stairway, triggering a quest for who put them there and whether it was Etho. Just in case, Joel moves them to his base anyway.
You seem to be very quick over here, like almost you were waiting for me to find this gem.
Oh yeah, but it genuinely was not me. I wish it was.
Now that the permit office actually remembers how to make things into a permit, it actually starts a coordinated effort to rehome some unwanted documents on the board at the main entrance. Cub Fan signs up for a couple, but he will have some competition before he can really get his hands on any of these. But he sure is getting the most out of the ones he already has, as his plan for selling goat horns is to charge them up with the out-of-context soundbites of his fellow hermits, which is sure to be a rousing success if Biffa and Keralis Robbery.wab are anything to go by.
For instance, here's one from Tango.
100% just pooped my pants.
There you go.
His other strategy involves seasonal events like the coming solar eclipse. To celebrate, Cub opens a pop-up shop to sell firework rockets mimicking the event. And while some people may not be as into the sky going dark as he is, they may enjoy the thrilling explosion roulette minigame Cub adds to the welcome floor of his fireworks factory. Chances are you win some poppies, chances are you go bye-bye. Either way, it's plenty colourful. Another amazing deal is Keralis signing on the one person on the server with fewer diamonds than him to surrender part of her profits.
I've been grinding day in and day out for 64 diamonds, 71.
You think that's no diamonds, sir? Do you want to know how much I've made?
No.
I've made 2, sir. I've made 2 diamonds. Don't laugh at me. That's just rude.
But while Pearl will have to pay to use his dye farms, the server may pay for ever letting Keralis invent his own bushification machine. Now, weirdly redstone savvy, Keralis assembles a tree farm to farm everything but the tree, where he'll be harvesting piles of leaf blocks of multiple kinds. Some of the foliage is already repurposed in the orchard Keralis built over it, where the tree trunks are also represented by pointed dripstone, which is also a neat build hack.
Is this a Keralis original redstone right here?
Yeah, don't laugh. I try my
No,
best.
no, no.
Okay?
I love it. I love seeing how people use the different components of the game to automate stuff. This is brilliant. I think it's great.
On bringing old builds back to life, Ijevin actually had so much fun building up the castle last week he wants to give it another go this season. Luckily, the cliff between his and Azuma's homes provides a great vantage point for a nightly keep. Though for now, Jevin digs in the exact opposite direction and expands his storage basement, even adding a balcony into the ravine. Then again, that might have just been a pit stop on the way to the Deep Dark to grab the ward trim for his armor.
I've already killed 2 wardens tonight. That's so freaky.
But will it be as stylish as Rendog's armor? That depends on how much you like a weird flex, because Ren has expanded the Wither Skeleton farm and now he has the nether firmly on the brain, goes bed mining for ancient debris so he can put netherite trim onto his gold armor. Yes, you got that the right way round, unlike him.
Netherite trimmed golden armor, as close as we're going to get with the trims that we've got to some sort of a Gigacorp spacesuit.
Regardless of how effective it is, gold armor can't protect him from responsibility. So like any responsible builder, he finishes the facade around his mud factory in Gigacorp style. Another corporation is on the rise in the form of Big Wood, and Skizzleman is excited to move into his new premises, although Big Salmon may have left some fish on his pyramid to remind him where his true loyalties lie.
Is that an Among Us character? It looks like an Among Us character. Is that an Among Us character? There's... What?
Skiz commits his stock to the joint woodshop and tears down the old one, although not before revealing to XP Crafted that he has many opinions about boats. One of his opinions is that Impulse SV shouldn't have one, because that might prevent him from drowning, as Skiz tests how far a player can swim before they run out of air, which turns out to be as far as I need to get into the range of Gemini Tay's conduits.
Oh my god.
Oh
my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. One heart! He makes it!
This is all in service of his pyramid base, the first floor of which is going to challenge a player's physical needs, in this case, the need for lungs. Despite being another major player in the game of Wood Monopoly, Joe Hills contributes an anti-corporate message to the walls of Impulse and B-Dubs' cyberpunk city. He graffitis the word RISE onto an adequate stretch of the stone canvas, although his sister Quinn is there to debate the spelling.
No, was it going to say Riz? Is that short for charisma? I think so.
As the mural takes shape, Joe works out a deal for some unpainted stone with Etho, who holds the natural stone permit and naturally would like to sell it in bulk for a reasonable amount of diamonds. Joe has been flattening out the Homedale area for weeks now, so he's happy to provide, but when Etho doesn't pay up, Joe proves he's happy to wait around. Eventually he gets his payday, which is good because he needs another 8 beacons to stay hasty around all these mountains he's erasing.
I've bought like 8 beacons from Ren today. He's not gonna know what hit him.
Vintage Beef also performs the double duty of stocking the wood store and graffitiing the city walls. Like a biblically accurate angel, Big Salmon truly has eyes everywhere. Beef makes sure to put his permits up for display in their relevant shops right as XB Crafted calls him over to introduce Half Food's bulk storage basement and proposes they game the system of trophies Azuma is handing out by buying out the entire stock of each other's shops. I hope XB likes Warped and Crimson Wood, because Beef is finding it growing even in places he doesn't want it.
You know, I've got to start chopping some Crimson and Warped Nylium, but what is this? This is the second time that something like this has appeared.
We know XB does want a Swift Sneak book, especially if he's going to barter that hard with Zombie Cleo, but it's all in service of swiftly sneaking up on Hypno, Cleo and Cubfan on their live streams and trolling them with arrows, Skulk Shriekers and right-clicking ability respectively.
I don't know who it is. XP or Etho. It's an XP. I knew it.
Any complaints can now be sent to his home address, now Pearlescent Moon has hooked him up to the mail system. Etho and Tango aren't done innovating with minecarts either, although it's slightly disturbing when the guys behind the postal service find a new way to deliver TNT.
Race it! Go!
They're going! Get out of there, Tango!
It's working! Here we go!
Holy smokes! What?
That was perfect!
I'd also be a little worried about Etho mailing a Ravager to someone, but it turns out he's just catching them to be the cars in the Frogger game he's building at his Froglight shop. Elsewhere, he's built a moss factory, which doesn't shoot the bone meal out of a railgun this time, but does help him bone meal all the flowers he's growing to prepare the 8 types of glass he's somehow ended up with permits for. It's fortunate for Iskal that he can now get all his glass in bulk, because he wants to start a Guardian farm by surrounding it with a colourful glass water barrier first. Incidentally, he sprained his wrist, which is how we get new Etho lore about playing games with your feet.
I've actually done it before.
What?
You get used to it. Yeah. And I would play like multiple accounts, and I learned to like play with like 2 hands and my feet, just so you can have multiple accounts going, you know?
What? That's incredible. Were you in Mumble's Freak Show?
While the glass placing begins, Iskal and Stress Monster throw around the idea of building a murder mystery game for the other hermits to participate in, and given that Stress has 2 working wrists, she commits to the idea right away. So far it's a series of wireframes, but it's taking shape more like a lively street of townhouses than the Clue Mansion. Nevertheless, you can still expect secret passages, character roleplay, and the opportunity to j'accuse once the build is done.
Then we'll take some hermits and we'll have a little roleplay session. Oh, it's going to be great.
Stress isn't the only one building these mean streets for minigames. BOO returns to the Cyberpunk City project to create a whole handful of buildings, and if someone else could confirm to me that this shop sign also reminded them of the Mystery Machine from Scooby-Doo, I would really appreciate it. Anyway, despite almost being the victim of a drive-by horse fireworking, B-Dubs puts in a ton of street-level detail, to the point where Impulse SV has to step in and call dibs on where all these power lines are going.
Now this is like 13 stacks of chains. 13, ooh, hey, ha, ha. We have tons of iron. Hey, yeah, really, how much of a chunk did we take out of this thing? Most I've seen you out of 3 seasons. That's not true.
Impulse already wanted to revive B-Dubs' Snips store from Season 7's Aquatown as a cybernetic implant dealer, but after touring a build world with Hermitcraft and Sir Durple, his brain is firing on all cylinders. So after confronting B-Dubs about his powerful work ethic, Impulse assembles a power plant on the far side of town that might be the starting area for all the minigames they hope to pack into this place.
You detailed a lot.
Yeah, it's not full detailed, and maybe it doesn't all need to be full.
What's under this garage? I gotta know.
You'll never know. You'll never know.
I wonder where it leads. We'll never know.
And finally there's Mumbo, who challenges himself to mine for 12 hours, if only so his bank account can stop flatlining. I guess he misses being the richest hermit last season. Despite at one point dying in a random cave about 7,000 blocks away, which we're pretty sure is karma for even joking about breaking down Scar's mountain of ores, he comes away with a ton of precious materials. Evidently not enough gold though, because the next episode sees him setting up a gold farm. This multi-platform Nembon design will of course fuel a bartering setup, but Mumbo also has the exclusive rights to sell gold in the shopping district, so he sidelines a bunch of it into crafters. To really be effective though, he'll need to stand at the bottom with a looting sword, and for that to be effective, he'll need to destroy some nether terrain, which is how he, Azuma, and eventually Grian become very well acquainted with intentional game design.
You want gold, right?
Here, Grian, have faith in us.
Yeah.
And oh! Why?
And that's about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP and my name is PixelRiffs. Captions on this video were provided by Liara. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching and we'll see you next week.